One movie review.
My jokes of the week.
I'm Stephen Craig.
I'm Lee A.E.
Brandon Wichser.
And this is the 49th episode of
The Movie Review Show!
We have a special guest today. This is Brandon Whichser. Brandon, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Brandon. I've liked movies ever since I was a little kid. Indiana Jones is one of the first movie franchises I was introduced to. So yeah, Raiders. So I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan, and it's going to be fun to review this movie. So thank you guys for having me on.
Oh, you're totally welcome. Thank you, Brandon. What I wanted to say is that we asked Brandon to do a review with us at some point, and he specifically asked to do this one because he is such a fan of Indiana Jones. So this is going to be cool to see what his opinion is of this movie.
Yeah, he knows his franchise super well,
So what is the movie review show?
Well, that's when Steven and I, and we have special guests like Brandon, we all go to our special local theater, Red Wing Cinema 8. We watch a new movie, and then we review it.
Use a popcorn rating system, 1 10 popcorn. 1 popcorn being the worst, and 10 popcorn being the best.
And today's movie wraps up a over 4-decade-long film franchise history, and it features an archaeology professor who turns into a dashing, daring, resourceful, and fearless adventurer. And it's Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny.
And here's the trailer.
I miss the desert. I miss the sea. And I miss waking up every morning, wondering what wonderful adventure the new day will bring to us.
Those days have come and gone.
Perhaps not.
I don't believe in magic. But a few times in my life, I've seen things I can't explain. And I've come to believe it's not so much what you believe. It's how hard you believe it.
Who is this man?
I'm her godfather.
related.
Get back!
It's review time. The movie starts off with ticking, a man with a sack over his head, Nazis, and the man is Indy. Basically, the plot is trying to find the two halves of the Archimedes dial, which can locate fissures in time. For this review, we're going to mention what we liked and didn't like about the movie. So, Brandon, you go first.
All right. Well, what I liked about the movie was the opening scene was really cool. With there was the Nazis in this, and there was a train. There was Indy fighting Nazis on a train. That was really fun. We got to see a de-aged Harrison Ford, and I think it worked really well. I didn't have any complaints with it. I think that his face looked normal, so I really liked that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't look computer generated. He looked right his face a little.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job.
No, yeah, he looked natural enough. So I liked Harrison Ford in this movie. Was just great. I think in any movie he's really great in any movie he's in, but he was really great here. And the action sequences were really good, especially for him being as old as he is. Like, they did a really good job with with how old he is. I think he's 80 years old now. And yeah, they did did the action sequences really well.
I saw that there were some doubles in the credits, so I'm guessing that doubles do some of the stuff.
Yes,
Most likely.
Surprising, yeah.
Right. He also the villain Voller. He was really well written and well acted. Mads Mikkelsen played a really good villain, and I really enjoyed him as a villain. So yeah, that's what I liked about the movie. Things I didn't like. Helena right away came off as an arrogant jerk, especially to Indy. She treated him like a jerk, and it was kind of frustrating right at first. But then later on in the movie, you kind of realize that's kind of her character arc, that she's kind of not taking she's taking Indy for granted, and eventually she learns to like Indy and that she needs Indy. So I appreciate that, but I didn't like that at first. It didn't sit well with me. The ending of this movie feels a little rushed. I think it was kind of thrown together, maybe in last minute editing. I didn't think it flowed very well, but that's just my opinion on it. So yeah, that's what I didn't like. Otherwise, the movie's pretty good.
Brandon, you told me that, was it yesterday? The day before you watched all the indie films, right?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. And what did you think?
So something that I noticed even with this movie is there's a common theme in all of them, that the villains misunderstand the artifact or the treasure that they're looking for. For instance, like the Ark of the Covenant. When they're looking for the Ark of the Covenant, they think it's going to give them all this power. In reality, it doesn't. When they open it up, it kills them all. When they look for the Cup of Christ, they can't leave the Grail Temple with it, otherwise the temple falls apart. And when they try, they collapse the temple and they lose it. So they weren't ever going to have the eternal life that they thought. And even in Crystal Skull, she was hoping to have this knowledge of everything and be able to psychically control her enemies. But obviously that's not what happened, and when they gave her the knowledge, she burned. And even in this movie, I won't spoil anything, but they don't understand what the dial actually does. They misunderstand it, and they misunderstand what it's supposed to do. So
Okay, how about the second movie?
the second movie, it's a little bit of an oddball because the stones don't really do anything. They're kind of like a spiritual stone, and they light up, but they don't really do anything per se. So it's kind of that one that's just kind of out there, and it's not
The anomaly.
Yeah, it just kind of, it doesn't exactly line up with everything else.
Well, you really know your indie stuff. That's awesome. Well, thanks, Brandon.
Yeah.
Next it's you, Lee.
Okay, what I liked about the movie was, I'm with Brandon, about the fighting the Nazi on top of this speeding train towards the end of World War II. And also, I liked when Indy was riding the horse through the New York subway system. Mm-hmm. And at the very end, he has a funny line. And then I also liked the, God, I already forgot. Oh yeah, when they're in Tangier and they lose their half of the Dial of Destiny, they're trying to get it back from the Nazis. That chasing, they're going all throughout the city and through all these back alleys and going in reverse, and that was cool.
Yeah, I thought the action sequences were amazing.
Yeah. What I really didn't like was, the kid Teddy learning to fly the plane, the drop of a hat towards the end of the movie. It's like, it's not, Fridge's nuclear deterrent level implausible, but it's getting in that realm. It's like, people just don't learn how to fly a plane,
Especially through
years
a storm.
and years and years of
Yeah.
training. Other than that, it's all good.
Okay, thanks, Lee. Okay, here's what I liked. The acting, for the most part, was very good. The action, the director had that down pat. The bad guys are bad. I like when the bad guys are bad and the good guys are good. The archaeology scenes were cool. And classic John Williams music. Also, the ending, it was amazing, in my opinion. And Harrison Ford, because he's awesome. Okay, here's what I didn't like. Now, I might be over nitpicking the movie, and no, it's just my opinion. In my opinion, this is not a perfect movie. There's a protest scene, and during the protest scene, Andy ends up punching some guys, and it doesn't seem like anybody noticed that he was doing that. And I'm thinking, during a protest, usually if any violence happens, like violence erupts throughout the entire protest, and in this case, no one seemed to even notice. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I mean, it's nobody. Yeah, nobody really even notices.
Yeah, they don't even look at him actually.
No, they just
Yeah,
kind of
there's tops all over, you know, and
They-
they just watch them.
They just kind of continue on with what we're doing before. So
Yeah.
that is a fair point.
Thanks.
Like, oh, India, do your stuff. We'll just like turn our heads the other way.
Okay, I had a problem with the whipping and gun scene. This scene's actually in the trailer, or at least one of the trailers. There's a scene where he's in a restaurant with all these people, and was that Tangiers?
Yes.
And he like takes his whip and he's like whipping at them, and they all pull out their guns, and he ducks under the table. They shoot at him, but he's under the table so he doesn't get hit. I'm thinking, just shoot through the table. You know, unless they weren't trying to kill him, which wouldn't make sense because they don't seem like they're nice people.
Trying to scare him.
I thought that maybe when I saw the trailer that he had jumped out the window behind him, and that would have made sense then, but I had a problem with that. What do you guys think on that?
I think that's kind of a movie trope. I mean, people hide behind
Something wooden.
yeah, lots of different things to not get hit, and sometimes it's like, well, the bullet might go through that, but you know, it's kind of just a movie thing, I think.
Okay.
So
Yeah, like I mentioned, like in Archer, they have this big shootout with the FBI, and there's like 20 people with guns firing. We're just gonna get behind a wooden desk, and that'll save us.
Right.
It is a trope. I don't really fault them too much for it. But yeah, it's a little stretch.
Thanks, guys. Okay. I had also a problem with the plane sequence where Teddy, the kid, ends up flying this plane in like you said, a storm, which was major turbulence. That was major turbulence.
Yeah, the pilot barely made it through, and there's a young kid. Oh, I just learned how to fly.
like in the movie, when he's in the restaurant, Teddy's in the restaurant, he's learning how to fly a plane for some reason, which doesn't make any sense why he's learning to fly a plane. And he's got all these
Unless he has to do it later in the movie,
and then later on he has to fly a plane, so it was just like way too coincidental.
Like they shoehorn that sequence into it,
to set up the plane sequence later on, yeah.
Right, it was a setup, exactly. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so those are things that I didn't like, but what I did like was also, it's like, in my opinion, I thought the ending was awesome. I won't spoil it, but I believe it's worth seeing this movie just for the ending. So, that's my 2 cents. Okay, so is there anything you guys want to add before we do our scores? Like, anything?
No, I think we covered most of it.
I would agree. Okay, we're going to do our scores. Do you want to go first or last?
I'll go first. So my score is an 8. I really liked it. There's a lot of good things there, especially for an Indiana Jones fan. Although, if I was to rank all of the movies, I think it's going to be my least favorite indie movie. But that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. I still enjoyed it quite a bit. So
Excellent.
yeah, I'm going to say 8.
Very well said. Very well said.
Interesting.
Lee, your turn.
Very similar.
Very simple. Oh, really quick, remember, we didn't know each other's scores until we told them right now, so you know, when we make a score when we watch a movie, we don't change it, and then we give our honest score that we come up with. So go ahead, Lee.
A little higher than Brandon's, 8.5.
8.5.
It was, script was the weakest part of it, but Harrison Ford carries the movie like he does in everything he's in, so it's hard to really screw up a movie that he's in. And so, yeah, like I say, the script, a little erratic, but Harrison Ford and the other actors make it all work. So definitely above a solid. You know, I'd say very, very good movie.
Cool,
8.5.
Okay, really quick. I want to see. Can you guys guess what you think my score is going to be? Because I don't know if you think I'm going to give it a high or low score. Well, I won't change it. I know my score.
Well, with you talking about the ending, I think you're going to give it a pretty high score.
Yes, I'm going to give it a
Yeah,
high score.
I would agree.
It's crazy, but we're all very similar. My score is an 8.5.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. I was going to give it an 8, but then the ending, I liked it so much, I raised it to 8.5.
Yeah, I was kind of wavering in between a 9 and 8.5.
Yeah.
8.5.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a solid movie.
Yeah.
You know, I recommend seeing it.
Oh, for sure.
You know, there are parts of the movie that really feel. Well, I don't know if they felt indie. It does feel slightly different. I felt from the other indie films.
Disjointed, kind of. I think they
There were
kind
parts
of like
that were
throwing
disjointed.
elements from all the previous movies into this one. So at times I thought the script was not the most tightly written script.
I would say the part that did feel like indie was indie himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, he was great in the movie.
hmm
You know, he did kind of show his age a little bit in certain parts, but for the most part, he carried the movie. So
He did carry the movie, and it looks like they could do another one. I hope they do.
yeah, I think Harrison says they're done, but you never know.
They said
Never
that
know.
after the third one and the fourth one.
Yeah, we never know.
Right.
I mean, they'd have to do it quick though. I mean, he's getting old, so
Well, how old is he now?
80 something.
yeah, 80 something. I
Oh,
think.
wow.
I
I
think
don't know if
he's.
it's mid 80s or
I don't think he's mid 80s. Maybe
like
he is.
82
I
or
know he's.
83.
I know he's 80. He's at least
We'll have to
80.
look that up after the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, early 80s.
Well, okay, next we're going to show our scores, and then we're going to look at Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic, and so close their scores are. Ours. Okay, we're looking at Rotten Tomatoes. I'm personally very curious to see what the scores are going to be. You know, here we go. Ooh, the tomato meter is 67%, and the audience score is 88%. Now, I had a feeling the audience liked the movie when we saw it yesterday, because it just felt like people were saying they liked it or talking about it at the end of the movie
Yes.
in the theater. So that makes sense why this audience score is 88%, I think.
Yeah, plus there's the 3 o'clock showing, there's like about 15 people maybe, including myself, so it's not a really super high number, but it's a lot more than most movies, you know, during the week you would see, just because it was, you know, Indiana Jones premiere.
There's quite a few more. Me and Steven were in the same show, and there's quite a few more in our show. I'd say it was about half full, wasn't it? Something like that. I don't know how many could actually sit, but there's quite a few people in it.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah, I think, your later one would have been more well attended. You know, 3 o'clock's kind of a
Yeah, it's
free
kinda-
time for a movie, but
people are still at work and
yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Mhm. Well, next we're going to look at Metacritic. Okay, the Metascore is 57, so pretty low.
Wow.
And the other score is TBD to be determined.
I'm
So,
surprised they haven't had enough reviews posted to have a score.
so what do you think of the scores? Well, particularly score. The 57.
Wow. Even for a Metacritic, that seems lower than I would have thought, but what do I know?
See, it seems a little low, but I mean, maybe that's from a general audience who hasn't really seen all the other Indiana Jones movies too.
Well, the Metascore is actually, I think that's actual reviewers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the DVD one would be the viewers. I think when the score for the viewers comes out, it'll be pretty high.
Yeah, I think it will be. It'll be higher than 57.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. Well, it's the show, which means it's time for Lee's Jokes of the Week.
All right, I got 9 Indiana Jones jokes. Okay, what's Indy's least favorite rock band?
I don't know.
Rolling Stones. What's Indy's least favorite beer? Kind of the same idea.
Rolling Rock.
Very good. Wow, what do you go for? You get one. Okay, well, all right, Indiana Jones is a collection of crazy, unbelievable movies. One scene is pure Boulder Dash.
Boulder Dash.
Why was Indy so depressed?
I don't know.
His career was in ruins.
Huh? That's cute.
Okay. Indiana Jones was talking with another well-known figure. Indiana Jones says, I present to you the Ark of the Covenant, keeper of the 10 Commandments. Rick from Porn Stars. Most I can give you is $25.
I didn't get
You ever
that.
watch Porn Star? I mean, Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars, okay. $25.
Yeah, Pawn Stars. Most I give you $25. Lowballing him as usual, yeah. That's my favorite show for a while, or my favorite reality show for a while. Okay, what do you call Indiana Jones and a Scandinavian river?
I don't know.
Harrison Fjord. That was kind of lame. What is it called when you compare the differences between Han Solo and Indiana Jones? Comparison Ford.
Comparison board.
What kind of necklace does Indy wear?
I don't know.
Independent.
Ha.
And the last one, how was Indiana Jones able to survive all the incredibly powerful, devious, and violent attempts to kill him?
I don't know.
He's indestructible.
Checkable.
And that's all the indie humor I have.
Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah.
It
Thanks
was
for having me
wonderful
on.
having you on the show.
Brandon, they go back.
I'm surprised you had the lowest score out of all three of us, and you're the biggest indie fan out of the three of us.
Yeah.
At least more that kind of
Well,
story.
that
We
means-
found things wrong.
Yes,
that
you found
we-
things. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
Nuances
sense.
that
Since
we
you
wouldn't have
learn so
caught.
much, you will
Yeah.
be paying more attention to certain things. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's good that we all have a little bit of a different approach to it.
I agree.
It'd be boring otherwise.
Right.
Well, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as always,
We'll-
we'll be watching. 3
For
fingers up. We'll be watching
watching
for you.